Hey, if anybody's in here, let me know if you can hear me okay, please. Hopefully you guys can. I was having trouble with the microphone when I first came in. So, if anybody's in here, let me know if you guys can hear me okay, please. I'm gonna wait a little bit to let people come in. Then I'll start talking about everything like I usually do. I have so much stuff to talk about and get out of the way. My updates have updates. And hopefully anybody that can't catch the live can go back and catch the watch, like the what do you call that? The replay, I guess? I don't know. But like I said, I'm gonna wait a little bit, let people come in, then I'm gonna start talking. I'm gonna talk about stuff that happened in Detroit, then I'm gonna talk about stuff that happened in you may as well say like New Jersey. Which is really crazy about the one thing that happened there too, because I've been struggling to find information about that. Hey, Chakra King, can you guys hear me okay? Hey, Nessa, how's your guys' Friday going so far? Oh, it's going good. I'm just giving everybody a little bit. Dang it, I knew it was 3. Okay, Nessa, thank you. I'll be right back, y'all. Can you guys hear me any better now? I was talking about that in the beginning. It was giving me, hey, go ahead. Can you guys hear me better? It was giving me problems. Like, oh, I'm so tired of this. Hey, Fresh, can you guys hear me okay? Because I've been having mic issues. Let me know, otherwise I'm gonna have to go out and come back in again. I don't know why it does this shit. Sometimes it's good, it'll be perfect, and then other times it's horrible. Oh my gosh, still? Alright, I'll be right back. Alright guys, what about now? Please tell me it's better. If you guys can hear me before, shout out to NASA, Old Head, Fresh, Chakra King. Can you guys hear me okay? Or is it still screwed up? It's starting to get on my damn nerves. Drake. I don't know what in the man. If I gotta restart this whole live, I'm gonna be pissed. All right, now guys, I'm not using a headset now, so I'm using the phone. If you guys can't hear me now, I'm just gonna have to restart live. I'm typing a comment just in case you guys can't hear me. Hold on. I can't believe it's, well, yeah, I can believe it's happening. Yeah, I'm gonna have to restart, you guys. It won't even let me post a comment. I don't know what the hell's going on. I'll be right back. Stay here. I'm gonna see if it'll let me just reboot and come back, okay? Be right back, guys. I'm so sorry about this. Hello, hello. Can you guys hear me okay now? This is some bullshit on a Friday. But if anybody's in here, please let me know if you guys can hear me. StreamYard wants to test my gangster today or some shit. Let me know, please, guys. I am so sorry. I don't know why it does this. Like I said, I can come in times. It'll be perfect. And then other times it does crap like this. Yay! Thank you, Fresh. Thank you, NASA. Like I said before, it's some bullshit on a Friday. Anyway, jeez. Thank you guys for staying. But what I was trying to say earlier, I hope everybody's Friday is going good. And I'm just gonna talk about some stuff. I've got so much stuff to talk about, but I'm gonna do like a show now and then one later, probably before I'm not sure if Larry's gonna do one tonight, but I'll do one a little bit later too. Like my updates have updates. But I'm going to give it probably a little bit longer, probably like a minute or two for people to get in here, and then I'm going to go ahead and start. So how's your guys' Friday going so far? Good, hopefully. God, that was annoying. StreamYard gets on my damn nerves sometimes. Oh my goodness. Oh boy. Okay. So hopefully, like I said, I'm glad. Thank you guys for bearing with me and staying here. I wondered if that was going to happen too, because I had to try to come in like 5 different times. There you go, Fresh. Finishing early on a Friday. Yes. That is always good. That's awesome. All right, guys. Let me see. All right. What should we get into first? How about... Let's talk about the mess that's going on in Detroit, right? This is a... I don't even know how to... This is so bad, y'all. Okay, so... In Detroit, and this started happening on the 1st of this month, okay? I'm going to try to explain this the best way that I can. Any questions, go ahead and just pop them in the chat. But anyway, okay. A man that had passed away from a seizure back in 2016, right? In his sleep. He was buried at this cemetery his family had buried him in. Well, jalapeno, don't. Sorry, guys. His family, whose mother had recently passed away, right? They wanted to exhume the son's body and then bury him in the same cemetery that his mom was going to be buried in, right? So she recently passed away. He had passed away in 16, and they wanted to exhume him out of the one cemetery and take him to the cemetery where his mom was going to be so they could be buried together. Okay. So here's where it gets really, really strange. They show up, they've got it all arranged to have him exhumed in his transport and all of that, right? And the family's there when all of this is going to happen to kind of oversee it. Oh boy. When the grave starts to be unearthed, right? Okay, well, let's just say that they didn't find the son's casket, okay? And this is his headstone. This is where he's supposed to be. Not only was his casket missing, but 4, and I mean 4, like 1, 2, 3, number 4 bodies were buried in this man's burial plot. Okay. So he's not there. His headstone's there. And then there's 4 people buried where he's supposed to be buried at. So of course the family's like freaking out and wondering where the hell their relative is, right? Because they're like, you know, where is he? Because this is where he's supposed to be. And it's not like he had like a, you guys know, if you don't have a headstone, they'll put like a like a flat, it's different like at all cemeteries, I guess, but they'll put like a flat, something flat, like with, I don't know, the last name and something else on it, so they know it's not just like blank grass. So, you know, he didn't have that. He didn't have a marker. That's what they're called. He didn't have a grave marker. He had an actual headstone. So, you know, it's his headstone. This is definitely his plot, you know, what have you. And freak out because they're like, where is our relative at? And who the hell are these poor people that are buried in in his spot, right? Okay. The actual funeral home has not released a statement yet, but the city of Detroit has, and this is what the city of Detroit had to say about what's going on, right? Now, this is quote unquote. They say that at this time, we believe there was a record keeping issue related to this gravesite. Based on our review of available records, we believe Mr. Stinson, which was the guy that was supposed to be there, you know, in the grave, was buried in an adjacent grave, unquote. Okay, so that's the city of Detroit's excuse. They're saying that basically they lost him. They don't know where he is, but that maybe he'll be in a grave that's close by, right? So wondering what in the world was going on and why the funeral home hadn't released, you know, any kind of a statement about it, but the city did, was kind of weird to me, right? So I did some digging, and I guess this cemetery's been around since like the 1800s, right? So it's been around for a long time, and it ended up going into bankruptcy recently. When the cemetery went bankrupt, the city took ownership of it, right? Then the city of Detroit hired a management company to handle the running of the cemetery. But the company that was managing it ended up walking away from the job, right? So they just kind of were like, you know, screw the city of Detroit, we're over this shit. I don't want to deal with it. So they actually walked away from the cemetery. And now the city of Detroit has been in litigation with this company ever since, trying to, you know, because they walked away and I guess they got paid for it or what have you. So now you've got, I don't know who they've got in there running it, but basically the city is just kind of like doing the bare minimum to keep it open because, you know, you've got people buried. They have to keep it open. They can't just like close it all down. So not only is this whole thing wild as hell, right? But it costs like an arm and a leg to bury somebody. Even to just cremate someone, it's really, really expensive, right? And now this poor family has got to wait. They're trying to bury their mom, you know, and then they wanted to bury the son with the mom and everything. They're trying to find out where the son is at. There's been no updates about that yet. They just keep telling them they're going to get back to them. And here's the kicker to me, right? Nobody said, hey, Tommy, nobody said who in the hell these four people are that are in his grave. I don't know what's weirder, him being missing or four people, not one, not two, not three, but four freaking people being buried in his grave. And then you guys know me, I got to analyze everything, right? So I'm starting to think like, okay, did they dig 6 feet down and like pile them up? Are they in coffins? Like, I don't know. That is just horrible. It really is. Um uh I don't know, like I'm at a loss for this, honestly. Um I don't understand how this boy, okay, this boy was buried in 2016. They had a funeral service for him. That's like 5 years ago. I don't it just floors me. I would be going off. I feel so bad for these people. But, you know, have you guys ever been to a funeral before? Hey, AJ, you know when you go to a funeral and like you've got the people there that'll lower the casket into the ground and then people like throw stuff on it like flowers or some people do dirt or whatever. Um I would assume that at this funeral they did that, right? So if they've got a normal funeral place, you're having your service, you've got the casket, like, you know, supported on whatever they call those things. Then they would have lowered the casket down into the ground. Was he not in that casket? I don't understand how that would have been seen, and he's not there. It's just so weird to me. Like, did they quit lowering him when people turned their back and like replace it with four? Like I said, not the fact that he's just missing, but that there's 4 people in there and none of them are him. That I feel so bad for those people, right? So I was going to do this article for you guys the other day, right? Now, and I'm giving this a super side eye, by the way, but I ended up trying to look and see if there was any updates on this, right? Oh man, yeah, there was an update. And you would think that maybe we'd hear something about you know, where the guy is and all that, or they found him or what have you, or maybe the headstone was in the wrong place. I don't know. But that's not the update I found, okay? This just gets weirder and weirder. The update that I found. Okay. You guys ready for this? Only on a Friday. This was 4 days ago. Now remember, the whole thing hit the news about the 4 bodies being in this guy's burial plot and him being missing. That happened on the 1st. Now, 4 days ago, there was a man that had seen the article on the news about the 4 bodies that were in this missing guy's burial plot. Well, his mom was buried at the same cemetery in 2018, right? But the company that was working for the city who used to run the cemetery kept telling him that they were backed up with burials, right? And to come back, that they couldn't do the ceremony right then. So he says that when, you know, he returned a couple times, they kept on telling him to, you know, just call us or come back, you know, we're just too busy. Well, he said when he finally comes back, after a couple different times of trying to get through and showing up and being basically, you know, bulldozed, he said that they told him, oh, well, we buried her already. What? So they keep telling this guy that they can't do the ceremony for his mom because they're backlogged, you know, and all this other crap. He checks on it, you know, 3 or 4 times. They keep like throwing him around, not giving him any real answer, just, oh, wait, we're busy, we're busy, we're busy. Then the next time he shows up, they say they buried her. It's not like they didn't have the way to get in contact with him. It's not like he wasn't trying to get in contact with them. But yeah. So they're like, yeah, we buried her. So now he's been trying to work with the city because they took it over to find out where his mom is in this damn cemetery. So how wild is this shit? So like this is so messed up. So you've got the 4 bodies. Oh, and like I said, when I looked for the updates, we're gonna have to do updates on updates for this crap because nobody's mentioned like who these 4 bodies were. Were they in caskets? Nobody's found the guy that was supposed to even be there so they could take him and bury him with his mom. And that's another thing too. If you want to exhume a body and move it to a different cemetery, you got to pay for that shit. So can you imagine how this poor family is? Like, not only they don't know where their relative is, they're trying to bury the mom. And it's not like you can just leave these bodies out and wait till, you know, oh my gosh, this is so horrible. But yeah, leave it up to Detroit to do some weird shit like that. But we're gonna keep watching this because I want to know like what in the world is going on. I don't know if you guys remember, I forgot to look this up, my bad. But some years back, right? I think it was in Georgia. It had to have been in Georgia. I really think it was Georgia. But did you guys hear about the funeral home where the guy was just tossing the bodies out back in a swamp? Like he would like the families would come in there and they would pick out coffins. They'd spend all this money with this guy and he would you know, have the coffin there for the ceremony and everything, but there was no body in it. Or if there was a body in it, he would just take the body out later and chuck them in the swamp. And they found like 75 to 80 bodies in his backyard in this swamp behind this funeral home. I'm like, what the hell? He didn't even cremate them or anything. He just threw them out there. That's crazy. There's a bunch of weird shit that happens with funeral homes. I'm not gonna lie. How have you been doing, Average Joe? How's your Friday going so far? What about you, Tommy? Hope you guys are having a good Friday. All right, now that we got done with crazy ass Detroit and their dysfunctional funeral home business, did any of you guys hear about the Black Panther, his daughter going missing? Like she had gotten kidnapped and they couldn't find her, and they ended up finding her passed away. Did anybody of you guys hear about that? Because I was following that case and I wanted to wait a little while to see what happened, like once she had went missing. But I mean, they found her already, but so I'm gonna bring you guys up to speed just in case you haven't heard about that. There wasn't much info about this, which kind of surprised me. I thought that maybe it would be, more on the news more, or even on YouTube more. It was really hard to find info about this. It was easier to find info on that damn funeral home. But anyway, let's move on to this one. Okay. The daughter of Black Panther Sharif Armand Hotep, right, was kidnapped and now murdered, okay? The story broke, it was around the end of last month, close to the first of this month. Her name was Sanaya Armand, and she was only 15. She went missing in South Carolina at her home, right? And the only thing, let me try to time it. Like I said, it was like towards the end of the, okay, we are in like the first month and a half, probably like the last week of last month is when she went missing. And they ended up finding her around the beginning of this month. So she was missing for almost 3 weeks or like 2 weeks around there. So they ended up finally locating her in a wooded area in Jersey. All right. Her cause of death as of now is gunshot wounds. That's the most that they've said about it. Like I said, she was found, about a week and a half ago now. No, about a week ago. And like I said, it was very hard to find information on this case. I tried to wait after she had been kidnapped, like I said, because I don't like to jump on cases too quickly because a lot of people will do that and they end up putting out wrong information. So I try to wait at least a day or two so I know my information is correct. So when I was able to find out about it was that she was last seen leaving her house with a teen girl and 2 boys. It's alleged that after she left, that when she left the house, it was voluntary. But once she got in the vehicle with these people, it was considered a kidnapping. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. This is also a like an ongoing investigation, so they're not going to let us know too many details about it. But when I was reading about it, it kind of seems like maybe people came over to her house and she went outside with them, and that was, like normal. She was okay with that, but somehow, somewhere between her going outside in her yard, they ended up getting her in that car, and it was obvious she didn't want to go, and it was considered a kidnapping because I don't know if they grabbed her or what happened, but somebody saw it, and it was considered a kidnapping. So they haven't given any kind of motive for why she was murdered. The only thing they have said is that they think it's linked to some sort of gang activity. They ended up arresting a juvenile girl and a 17-year-old boy, and they're asking the public for help to locate another boy that's 18 years old. And it also, sucks because when they're younger like this, it's hard to get their names, it's hard to get info about them, but these people are what? The one boy they're still trying to find is 18. The other one that they got in custody is 17. And all I could find out about the girl is that she was a juvenile. But with the boys being 17 and 18, hopefully we'll be able to find more information about it and, stay on top of it because the 18-year-old's an adult. So hopefully they catch him, but I don't know. This is just so sad. And her father being an activist, right? And being a Black Panther, um, he made a post on his social media about it where he was saying how, he can't believe that she's gone and how it shattered, the hearts of him and his family, and how because of what happened, he'll never be the same. And then it crushed me, right? Because he ended up making a post where it said that he said, okay, I know I wrote it down. Let me find it. He said, "I'm sorry, princess, I didn't protect you. I promise that you'll never leave my heart or my mind." I was like, that is so sad. And I don't understand. I don't know. I just want to find out what happened. And like I said, being an ongoing investigation, they're not going to let us know shit. And I hate that because you can speculate almost anything. Why would they kidnap this 15-year-old girl? These were young people too. And there was no ransom, there was no type of demands or anything. They ended up just shooting the shit out of her and leaving her in the woods in Jersey. She lived in South Carolina. Like, that's so, what is going on? It's so weird. And I checked right before I went live about any updates, and I still can't find any. The only thing, the police have said they've got certain leads, but like I said, we're more than likely not going to hear much about it until they end up either arresting this other guy. I don't know. But like I said, it bothers me that it seems like more and more every day we're hearing about younger people doing crazy shit. Like, that's kind of scary. And then it bothers me thinking about this poor girl being only 15 years old. She's outnumbered with these three people, and I can't imagine how scared she would have been. That's so sad. I hate stuff like that. But that's the depressing one. But like I said, you guys know I'll stay on top of it to see if we can find out anything, but I don't know. Hopefully when they go to court, we'll be able to watch it on TV or something like that and see what happens, but that's so sad. So you've got the craziness of the cemetery in Detroit missing. They don't know what, they're just throwing bodies all over the place. And then the daughter, the 15-year-old that was found, she was missing for 3 weeks, then they found her deceased, shot up in the woods. And we don't know why, but there's one 18-year-old out there missing. They're still looking for him. So that's what we know about those so far. Any questions, guys? Hey, Larry. No, Fresh, not 40 Cal's daughter. This is different. This is the guy, what was his name? He was a Black Panther. What was his name? Hold on a second. Let me find it. His name, Sharif Armand Hotep. That's the dad's name. Hey, Mike from Boston. Yeah, this is, and tell me, Fresh, that's not crazy, right? Because the Black Panther guy I was just talking about, his daughter went missing 3 weeks ago, and then they found her passed away. But you're right about the 40 cal. I was going to talk about that too later on. That's another daughter that got kidnapped and went, what the hell is going on? Well, no, she didn't. They're alleging she committed suicide. So I don't know. And if she really did, that's sad too, because I don't know if you guys have been following that, but have you guys seen that they don't even think they're going to be able to get her body? Like, that is so sad. It looked like the guy that was talking about it, the investigator, was about to cry because he was like, I can't even bring the body back to her parents. I guess where they're alleging, where the sniffer dogs went to the edge of this, she was around, all these rocky places and everything, where the sniffer dogs had stopped. They can't get down to where they think she jumped. So, and that's sad. And that really makes me sad too, because when you're younger, I don't know if guys go through this, but girls, if we have a boyfriend and we think we're in love when we're young like that, you think it's the end of the world if you're gonna like break up with that person. Or I guess they said she had called her boyfriend like 59 times in an hour and he wouldn't answer her, and like, which is, I hope he feels like shit. I'm not gonna lie, because apparently she texted him and she was like, I don't feel good. I feel like I'm gonna, take my own life. And he never answered her or anything. Like, that's pretty cold fucking blooded. He didn't answer her, none of that. She was talking to a male friend, but not her boyfriend that broke up with her. But yeah, he didn't give a shit. He didn't call her, didn't text her, nothing. And they think that they know when she jumped because her phone allegedly left the, what do you call it? It left the system, or the towers. It just went like it just disappeared all of a sudden. So they think that that's when she actually did it. But I don't know. I was going to talk a little bit about that later, but that is so sad, like I said, because when you're younger, hell, when you're older, you might think that a problem you're going through is like so big and just you're drowning and not going to be able to figure it out. But you should never it shouldn't get that bad. Like, I just wish people would try to reach out and talk to people before they do that. It's so sad when people do that, because it's usually for something that's so, minor. And even if it's not minor, you can always work through it. It's not worth your life. Depressing. Okay. That's why these things drive me nuts. That's why I said I'm going to start throwing in some funny stuff next time that I do this, because it really wears on me when I'm doing all this depressing crap. All right. So the next one we're going to talk about is, let me drop the link just in case anybody wants to come up, because I will get carried away here. Hold on. Larry, how's your day going so far? Okay. Post the comment. Oh my god. You know what? StreamYards is getting on my last. It says an error occurred. Wait a moment and try again. What kind of shit is that? I've never seen that before. What in the world? StreamYard is trying, like I said, they're trying my gangster big time today. Yeah, I just did it twice. Ew. Okay, anyway, I'll just keep going, then I'll try it later. If you guys have any questions or anything, just kind of throw it in the chat, because like I said, it's not letting me post the link for some reason. Okay. Now, this here is kind of crazy. This is like a PSA to not drink and drive and all that good stuff. This happened on last week, and basically a woman ended up running over a police officer after doing a podcast where she ended it by saying "fuck the police," which is very ironic. It was crazy. So it was on April 27th that this happened, right, in New York. Around 2:00 in the morning, a 43-year-old NYPD officer, his name was, what was his name? Anastasio, I think. Yeah, Anastasio. He was on the scene of a highway accident, and this was ironic too, because it was a fatal car accident that they were on. And he was directing traffic when he was hit head on by this woman that was driving, through the accident scene. So they rushed him to the hospital, but he ended up passing away. The girl who hit and killed him, she's 32 years old. She was in a 2013 Volkswagen, and her name is Jessica Bove. And they said she was apparently intoxicated with a 0.15 alcohol limit, which is apparently double the legal limit in New York. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm just going by what I, was able to find out. And she also had a suspended license. So she was driving on a suspended, and she was above the alcohol limit. And it was 2 a.m. Okay. She ended up being arrested, and she's being charged with vehicular manslaughter. And when she was being transported, you know how the press will be like, what do you think about what's going on? Give us your blah, 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 blah. She ended up being able to give like a little statement where she was like, I'm sorry, what'd she say? She was like, I'm sorry he's dead." And that's what she said before they put her in the car. Um, the few details about the collision I was able to find out was that, like I said, the officer was in the street directing traffic. It was a fatal accident scene that they were on. And she ended up hitting him head on, and she kept going. Uh, apparently her windshield was smashed, like really, really bad. So they were saying that like there's no way she couldn't have known she hit him, that she definitely knew she hit him, but she just kept going. Um, that's kind of crazy. I don't know why she kept driving. They ended up like literally having to pull her over. I think it was a block away they got her. It was by a store. So they ended up pulling her over, and that's how they ended up arresting her. And then when they were interviewing her family members and relatives and stuff like that, I guess one of her relatives was saying that her mother was killed by a drunk driver. So that was kind of weird, but it happens. And let me say this too. The info on this is kind of sketchy also, because I found out that she was a podcaster, right? And I'm not sure if it's Facebook or what platform she was on, but allegedly, okay, allegedly earlier that night, she was doing a live, she was podcasting, and she was taking like shots of alcohol on her live, and she was cammed up so you could see her, and she was taking shots and everything. And oh, that was it too. She ended up telling the police that before she got into her car, she smoked like some weed too. So she was apparently, tipsy or drunk or whatever, and then she ended up smoking weed before she started driving. I don't know why she just admitted that, but apparently she did. Um, hold on real quick, guys. Okay, I had to get jalapeno up. So she tells them voluntarily that she was smoking weed. Um, I want to ask you guys about this though, right? When you guys were growing up, um, whether it was like your parents or your relatives or teachers or when you were at school, right? Did you guys end up going through any kind of thing where they would do like the MAD thing, which was what was MAD? Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and they would do I know at my school they did like a week long thing every year where you would have to they would do a different thing every day, letting you know how you shouldn't drink and drive because you know how it kills people and it's, horrible, horrible, horrible. Um I remember that like the biggest thing that I remember about that, because honestly, I don't remember shit else about those weeks that when they would do that, but they would have a car towed to like the lawn, like the front yard of our high school, and they would take this car and they would put it out there for the whole week, and it was a car that was involved in a like drinking and driving accident, and I guess 4 people passed away, and I mean the car was like it looked like a crushed up pop can, like that thing was horrible looking, and yeah, drinking and driving is not, not where it's at. I know that I've done it a couple times back in the day. I'm pretty sure everybody's done it back in the day, but it's not a good thing because shit can always happen. There was a girl in the military when I was in the military. She ended up coming from a club. She was off base, and I guess she was coming. Oh, was she coming on or coming off? I think she was coming off of the highway, and you know how when you merge off of the highway, getting ready, it's either a circle where you go onto the road or it's a straight kind of like a Y shape. So she's merging off the highway, and I guess she was still speeding. She wasn't really slowing down like she was supposed to. There was somebody walking on the shoulder of the road. She literally ended up hitting that person, and she hit them so bad it decapitated the fucking person. And she ended up being, dishonorably discharged. She ended up having to spend, I think, 10 years in prison over that shit. But I couldn't believe that. And you know what really, really bothered me now that I'm talking to you guys about this? There was a party that I had went to. She was there. And people were asking her because I guess, she was going to prison like, I don't know, a week later. And people were like, oh, are you scared? Like, what do you think's going to happen? Da, 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 da. she wasn't even sorry, you guys, that she had killed this person. Like, she was more upset that she had to actually go to prison for this shit than she was sad that she literally decapitated somebody because she was too shit-faced and shouldn't have been driving. I'll never forget that. Like, I will never forget that. Like, that girl was a piece of shit, like, in my view, in my opinion. I couldn't believe that. Um, I wonder when she got out, if she got out, did she still feel the same way? And one thing I'm going to tell you guys too, my mom and my dad used to always tell me something, that it's not you on the road driving that you have to worry about, you know, because we all think that, like, we drive. I drive like a grandma. I'm not going to lie. I don't really know why, but I do. I'm super safe when I drive. But my mom and dad used to always say it's not you on the road that you really have to worry about. You know, it's everybody else on the road, because you don't know if, like, you know, they're arguing with somebody on the phone and paying attention. You don't know if they're tipsy. You don't know if they're on any kind of drugs. Shit, they might have a health problem and end up, you know, smashing the gas. You just never know. And it's really scary when you think about that, because we drive all the time and don't think about that. But I don't know. Have you guys heard this too? That most accidents happen like within 5 miles of your house? Because I guess this is what they say. Allegedly, when you're closer to home, you're more relaxed. So you're more apt to, like, take your seatbelt off early, or reach in the back seat to get something, or, you know, not stop completely at a stop sign because it's in your neighborhood, type of deal. But yeah, allegedly, most accidents, like a lot, happen within 5 miles of your house. It's crazy. I'm gonna try to drop the link again, guys, just to see. Unless StreamYard still wants to raise my blood pressure here. Let me see. All right, let me try it again. Yep, it wants to be a pain in my ass today. That's not cool. Not cool at all. One thing though that I hope they're not gonna do with this girl though, if you guys remember earlier, right? Because she's gonna have to go to court. She's gonna have to deal with the fact that she not only hit this man, but that she hit him and she kept going. They had to literally, like, pull her over. Uh, I hope, and I hope I don't sound like a dick saying this, but, you know, on her podcast, because they're going to use that as evidence, because she was drinking on it and she was talking crap about, you know, police. And like I said, right when she was getting ready to get off, she was like, you know, fuck the police. I hope they don't use that against her, because it's not like, well, in my opinion, I don't think she went out there and did that on purpose. I hope they really don't try to make it look like that, because, you know, this was an accident. You can tell she feels bad. I think, anyway. If she really doesn't feel bad, she's a good actor. But I think she feels bad. I think it was a complete accident. I don't think she did it on purpose at all. So I hope that, you know, they don't try to say that. I really do, because that's not going to be very fair. All right, guys. Do you have any questions so far? Dang, I'm almost been live an hour. That's crazy. Running my mouth. I can't believe that StreamYard won't let me drop this link. But if you guys have any questions, just throw them in there. I'm going to try to drop the link again. I'm going to do a show a little bit later, though, like I said, because I've got a couple of things I want to talk about. But they're, like, lengthy. And I'm not going to do them on here anyway, because I can't drop the damn link. That's aggravating as hell. Have you guys ever had that happen to you before, when you tried to do it and it'll say, Fresh, you need to stop it. You're keeping it too real, Fresh. I thought of that too. Where you feel bad because you got caught? Stop it. I thought of that too, though. You know what's crazy when you think about it? Okay, like I said, I think all of us have actually, driven tipsy before, if not when we were younger, maybe, I don't know, leaving from the bar or something, whatever. Um, but okay, picture yourself tipsy. Say you've had a couple of drinks, a couple of shots, whatever. They say it takes about 15 minutes to hit your system. Like if you go to a bar and take 5 shots and you can make it home before 15 minutes, you're good. Like that, well, allegedly, that's what like the doctors say. Okay. So we've all probably had an experience where we've been driving tipsy, right? Now, yeah, it won't let me drop the link. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Okay. Ugh. All right. But we've all driven like that more than likely before, right? Like I said, whether we were younger or whether we're older, what have you. If you ever came across a full-fledged fatal car crash scene, you guys probably know even with a regular car crash, right? They've got ambulances. A lot of times you'll see a fire truck. They're going to have like 6 cop cars out there. And every single one of them is going to have lights going, all types of shit. And, usually you've got to slow down because they've got the lane blocked off or whatever they have to do. Sometimes you got to come to a full stop. How the hell did she not see all that shit going on, right? Like how, and the cop that she hit, he wasn't even directly in the middle of the road. He was like to the side directing the traffic that was already slowed down. How did she hit him hard enough to kill him, but then hard enough, like, how do you not? I don't know. Because I know that when I've gotten tipsy before, it doesn't make me blind. She didn't wear glasses. Like, I don't know. That's so crazy to me. Like, maybe, maybe she was looking at her phone. I don't know. I just don't get like all that shit happening. How are you not paying attention? In Florida, a lot of times, and this probably happens where you guys all live too, a lot of sheriffs and a lot of highway patrol have been killed over the years because they used to be able to kind of choose when they would pull somebody over on the highway what side of the car they could go to. But then down here, so many highway patrol and sheriffs were being hit and killed by, traffic when they would be pulling somebody over, that now it's a law to where if you see, a police car, you've got to get over like in the left lane so you don't even come close to them. And if you do, like say you're going down the highway, you see the police pulling somebody over and you got to get in the left lane, but there's a car over there so you can't get over. You better slow down and wait and then get over because they don't give a shit what the reason is why you can't get over into that left lane. You're have to go to jail. So like that's how it is down here, which I get it because traffic on the highway is insane. But I mean, I don't know if she would have been looking at her phone or just completely that. I can't even give her that. If you're, I don't care how drunk I've been, I'm still going to be able to see lights and shit. I don't know, guys. I don't know. That's just wild to me. And I feel bad, like I said, for her and like, her family or whatever. I don't think she's got like kids or anything like that, but I wasn't able to find out. And like, me, I'm going to keep the updates going. So we'll find out. But and this is a social media thing because she did podcasts allegedly, so we should be able to find out a lot of info about that because people are going to be talking about it. But I feel bad for him though a little bit because like I guess he had 4 kids and they were all pretty young, so that's sad. But it happens. That's life, right? Shitty though. I still can't believe that this won't let me drop a link. Makes me angry. So Fresh, do you and Lady Fresh have any plans for the weekend to do anything cool? Just yeah, damn it, it won't let me drop it. I've never seen StreamYard do that before. An error occurred. Wait a moment, then try again. That's what I've been doing, StreamYard. I've been waiting and trying again and it won't freaking work. Ah, sigh. shout out to everybody that came by. Thank you very much for your support. Like I said, I hope you guys are having an awesome Friday so far. My voice is kind of out of it a little bit because I've been smacked with allergies today. We had a big storm yesterday, so everything's been blowing around. Ooh, Mike, that's a good one. Hold on. Okay, let me try that. Thank you, Mike. Okay, so I'll go copy it and then go out of here and go into YouTube, paste it in you. Okay. All right. Thank you, Mike. Thank you. Let me try that. Bear with me, guys, while I try it real quick because I don't want to talk and then mess it up. I'm trying to think, what can I talk about while I'm trying to concentrate on this? All right, hold on. Hopefully you guys can still hear me because I just got out of the live. But what do you guys think? Like, what are your guys' like how Fresh said that he thinks she's kind of upset just because she got caught? I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think, or what do you think she should be punished with? Do you think that she should, um, I don't think that they're charging her, like, how sometimes if you hurt a police officer, kill a police officer, you get put under the jail type of shit, which I don't think is right, but I don't think they're gonna put any like extra charges on her because of that. I'm not sure. They haven't said what they're gonna try to charge her with, so I'm not sure yet. Okay, I'm back. Can you guys hear me? My thing is going around the. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. Did it work? Did it work? Did it work? I see it. Hopefully, it worked. It doesn't show on this side whether it's blue or not. Thank you, Mike. I think it did work, though. That's awesome. I learned something new. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, that's good, Fresh. You guys are just hanging out and relaxing. That's good. You guys work really hard. You need to relax. Okay. Thank you, Mike. I'm glad that you taught me that. Thank you. Because I would have just stayed over here and gotten more aggravated. But hopefully I gave you guys something to kind of break up, the day if you're still at work or if you guys are driving or whatever you're doing. And like I said, I'm going to go live a little bit later because I've got other stuff that I need to get out of here and let you guys know about because, I don't want to give it away yet. Don't want to give it away yet. But one of the things I'm going to be talking about later is, it's just wild. Like there's so much bad stuff going on. I don't know if you guys were in, Larry Beach 247's chat last night, but, a guy that comes over there and talks to Larry from the UK, he was talking about, and this is so messed up. He was saying how there were some kids that were allegedly going around just kind of messing with people, like I don't know, like throwing stuff, breaking stuff, just doing like random shit that kids shouldn't be doing in this neighborhood. And I guess they started messing with a homeless guy, and there was a man that was going to give the homeless guy some food. So when he went to go give the homeless guy some food, and the kids were messing with the homeless guy, the man with the food tried to like shoo him away, and they stabbed him and killed him. So the poor guy that tried to defend the homeless guy while he was giving him some food, one of those kids stabbed the guy, and he died. And that is fucking horrible. Like, what is going on with the world? And it seems like, okay, I want to say that he said they were like 13 and 14, maybe 15, around that age, like 13 to 16, I think. And I just couldn't get over the fact that, like, are you kidding me? First of all, over there, you're not supposed to have guns. And he said, you're not supposed to have knives either. But if these kids were that young and they're out, he said they were on scooters, and I don't know if that means like bikes or like motorized scooters. I'm not really sure. But if they were out just messing with people and causing trouble, and you have a knife on you, why would you have a knife unless you're planning on using it? Like, I don't know. That's just so crazy. And he was saying that the grown man that was trying to defend the homeless guy, it's not like he what do you call it, like lunged at the kids or threatened them or anything like that. He said he literally tried to just shoo them away, and they stabbed him and killed him. That's horrible. I can't imagine. Just think about going about your day like we are now, right? I'm doing this podcast. You guys are getting off work and, thinking about stuff. And then all of a sudden you see something like that happen. You go over to help, and then you're dead. You're freaking dead. That's horrible from somebody that just wanted to be an asshole that day. And you guys know, because they're younger, they're not going to get, like, they'll get punished, but they won't get punished like, if they were an adult. And I bet you that homeless guy probably feels bad too. That's so sad, though. That's why, like I told you guys before, earlier in, the podcast right now, that I'm going to make sure that I look up something funny, or, something that's kind of like how I'm going to do like the troll of the week thing and stuff like that, because these topics they'll just depress the hell out of you. It's really sad. Like the one that I'm going to talk about later, you guys, is so fucked up. Like, it's so fucked up on a lot of different levels. It's just so, and these are younger kids too. They're not like young, but young enough, 18, 19, 20. It's just wild. The world is, I don't know, going to shit. Or how my mom used to say, it's going to hell in a handbasket. Or what was the other thing people used to say, guys? You're going to hell with gasoline drawers on, or something like that. But anyway, I hope you guys, let me see. You missed it, Fresh? Yeah. Hey, Murph. Thank you for coming by. Like I said, salute to everybody that came by. I just wanted to kind of try and get this stuff out there. Because I have a lot of stuff to talk about. So I want to make sure I knock this stuff out that's kind of like minor, and do the bigger stuff later. And like I said, going over what I was talking about, because you guys can rewind it or whatever, but I talked about the funeral home in Detroit that apparently just throws bodies anywhere and they don't know where they're at. And then I talked about the Black Panther's daughter that had disappeared. She was kidnapped and then murdered. They've got a 17-year-old girl, a 19-year-old boy in custody, and they're looking for an 18-year-old boy that's still out there that, they know apparently did this. I can't find out any information besides that. Like I said, hopefully somebody leaks something to keep us updated. But with that being a murder investigation and everything, that's going to be pretty tight-lipped. So, but I talked about those two, and then we just got done talking about the girl that Fresh said is upset because she got caught when she was getting drunk on her live, and then ran over a police officer and killed him. So those are great, happy topics to talk about. I'm not gonna lie though, the funeral home, that's like funny and fucked up at the same time. That's just wild. Nothing should surprise us nowadays. But yeah, so that's a breakdown of what we talked about. Like I said, if you guys have any topics that you want me to, look up or research or anything, just shout it out to me and I'll do it. And I'm gonna go live a little bit later. I don't know what time yet. I'm gonna talk to Larry and find out if he's gonna make his around the world thing tonight. So we'll see what happens. But shout out to Murph and Fresh and Mike from Boston and NASA, Larry Beach, Average Joe Lamar, Tommy, and I think that's everybody. Old Head. I don't know where Old Head went. He was in here. Chakra King. Thank you, everybody that came by. I appreciate it. I really, really, really do. And like I said, look for the reminder later on, and we'll be talking about that really messed up one that I want to get out of the way because that's depressing. But I'm gonna start doing funny stuff, like I said. So I'm sorry in the beginning of the live, you guys, that it was messing up to where my sound was really, really off. I apologize about that. I'm glad we were able to get it together, or I was able to get it together. And like I said, enjoy your Friday, you guys, and I will talk to you all soon. Thank you, you guys, for coming by.